Hi ladies and gentlemen, so welcome back to this third video of the GitHub crash course. So this video particularly will be actually getting into real business. We'll be touching some codes and you all will finally learn how to use GitHub to do your projects in a good manner, in a best practice. So just tidbit of theory number one. When we talk about like this branches, right? We need to understand another concept, which is GitHub is something on the server, it's on the remote, alright? Or there will be another term that y'all will come to see later. I'm just gonna write it down first for clarity. It's also known as origin, okay? So GitHub is on remote and it's origin. It can imagine it's in the cloud. It's something you can't really touch, okay? And there's this local, okay, something on your computer, right, your PC, we call it local. So every repo, right, there's a lot of these branches, and the remote branch, technically speaking, contains every branch. But the local, your computer, you can choose which branches to take from and work on it. Alright, let's just see a real example, okay? I'm just gonna write down the codes and also the instructions for every single part of it. So don't worry, let's do this step by step. First of all, let's say we're gonna create a new repo, okay? Let's call this project test, okay? This time I'm using my own, the original email, else.junming. So project test is available. The description, don't need anything first, make it private, make it admin readme file. Okay, basically once you click on this create repository, right, you will have your first remote repo and a branch. So as you can see here, what is this called? This is called main, right? So I'm just gonna write it down here first for clarity. When you run create repo on GitHub, right, what happens is that you will have a repo on the remote. Okay, you will have a branch on the remote repo called main, and that's it. Literally that's it, nothing else. Okay, your local branch is still very clean, nothing in there at all. Oops, just PTSD. Okay, now you can't do any development with this yet. So what we need to do right now, okay, just now I may have demonstrated it once, I'm gonna demonstrate it again. So let's say I'm going to my command prompt, okay, go to my git local just to make sure, okay, yeah, I cd into git local, okay. Now remember that you all have created your SSH key, so now is the time you use it. You literally copy this code and you git clone into the git local main repository. So git clone, clone into project test, and there you go. Now you will have the project test in your git local, and that's where your local branch is created. So in the second one, when you go to cmd and then git clone, or say ssh url lah, just for clarity. Okay, this is a command lah, okay. Git clone ssh url. What happens is that you will have created or at least clone the main branch into your local remote repo. Okay, and this one, oops, is still available here as well. Okay, it's the same. Alright, now as I mentioned just now, it's not really advisable to, you know, just directly work on your main branch. Even on your local branch, it's not advisable to do that, because this may actually you know, like mess up the codes for it. So what we're gonna do here is that we're actually going to, okay, I'm gonna teach you the first syntax, which is called git branch. Git branch allows you to see, oops, hold on, sorry, I haven't cd into the project test first. Cd project test. Okay, there we go. Now if we click at git branch, right, we can see that there's one main branch here, green color, and this is your local branch. This is your remote branch. Now, yeah, let me write it down first. Yeah, command 1 git branch to check which branch you are working on. Okay, now let's say I want to work on the dev branch now. Okay, so what I would do is git checkout b -b stands for a new branch, and let's call this a dev branch. Okay, yeah. Okay, now if you check git branch again, what do you see here? You have a dev branch and you have a main branch. The green color stands for the branch that you're working in right now. Now here's an interesting part. When you go back to your main repo, even if I refresh it, it is still main branch only because no changes has been done onto the remote branch yet. So I'm just gonna note this down in the third line. If you go to CMD, okay, and you write git checkout. No, maybe let me just check. Maybe that as well. Git branch. Git branch dev one. Git branch. Dev one. Okay, yeah, this works. Okay, I teach you the easier one. Okay. Git branch. Branch name. Yeah, and that should give you a new branch. So let's say this is main. Okay, and you have created a dev branch here. Okay, now for clarity's sake, right? Hold on, let me just do this first. Oops. Dev one, so git branch. Okay, now for clarity's sake, I'm gonna create two branches just to illustrate some important things. Alright, so let's say number one, the first branch I would say, let's say it's a feature we call login. Okay, and I would say by admin, let's say I want to demonstrate that different people are doing different things. Okay, so this will be our first branch. Second branch is git let's call it about us, the word that I use the most, about us, and let's say that this is done by Brandon. Okay, let's take a look first. Git branch, how many branches are there? There's two branches. Okay, so let's say right now I have went into the gone into my branch to work on it. Feed login admin. Okay, so yep, I'm working on my branch right now. So now is when we can actually start working on it. So I'm gonna open project test, right? I'm gonna open with Visual Studio Code. Now this is probably something for me right now, correct? Okay, so let's do it very simple. Okay, I'm gonna have two files. One is a main.py file, and it's gonna have a main function that does something. Print. Let's try first. Print hi. Okay, and then if something like name equals to what is it called again? I think it's called something like this. Then we run the main function. Okay, let's see does this work or not. Project test python main.py. Just make this full screen. Enter. Yeah, it prints hi. Okay, hi world. Okay, it says hi world. Okay, now I'm gonna start showing you the second function, second command for important stuff, which is, that will be very crucial, which is called git status. No matter what you do, git status and git branch is your best friends because it will tell you what you're working on right now. So if I go back here, right, I say git status, what do it say for me? It says that I've created a new file called main.py, and I haven't add this to my I would say project yet. So I'm just gonna go git add main.py, and it's already added. Now we git status again, right, you'll see that this main.py is already added in, but it's not committed yet. Okay, this is the part where it gets confusing. Okay, but just follow me along through first. Later I'll spend a specific time to explain this part. Okay, so I git add, now I git commit -m feed create main.py. This is my commit message. Okay, now let's continue. Okay, so this is not enough. I would like to add one more thing, which is utilities.py. Okay, now this utilities.py, right, is something that will contain a lot of our functions that we'll be using. So let's say we're doing login page, right? Let's say dev login. Okay, it's going to print authorize. I don't know how to spell, sorry. Okay, so what to do now here is from utilities import. That's very correct. Utilities import login, and I'm just gonna run like login here. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay. Okay, it's prints authorized, correct. So this runs main function. Main function runs the login functions from utilities.py, which is this function. Okay, you may be asking why I'm doing it so confusingly, but just bear with me. I'm going to show you later. So let's go back to what I mentioned just now, git status. Okay, utilities.modified is main.py. So just now it was supposed to be like something simple. Now it became a bit more complicated. So first of all, you git add main.py. Okay, now you take a look, git status. You added main.py, but you didn't add utilities.py or PyCache, which is fine. So I'm gonna git commit my message first. Let's say -m chore clean modify main file. Okay, there we go. That's another git status again. Why that's not committed yet? Okay, utilities.py is not added, so git add utilities.py. Okay, git status. If you're not sure, sorry. Okay, yeah, this is good. So we git commit -m. Okay, feed create utilities file to store functions. Okay, solid. Now get this. The left is cache. I don't want to add that. It's fine. So now we can start pushing things in already. Remember how many commits here? 3 different commits, right? So now I'm gonna say git push origin. Okay, now this is very important. Before that, let's recap what branch I am at first. Feed login admin, right? So when I'm gonna push back, right, I don't want to push into the main branch. I want to push it to the remote branch and at the same time create a new branch called feed login admin. So I need to type it exactly the same thing. And when I do that, it will start pushing in. Okay, and now let's take a look at our repo. How is it? There's a new branch here, feed login admin. And you can see that the commits here, modify main.py features and everything, all these commits will actually reflect onto the changes it's done. So let's take a look at this commit. This commit created this file, right? Commit create main py, it did this, right? And the modify main.py did this. Okay, so you can see all the changes are documented well within GitHub. So we can trace back anything that, you know, maybe deleted some good codes, we can trace it back as well. Okay, so let's just jump back here a bit once again. So we can say that, you know, when we go to command prompt once again, okay, the command is git push origin and the branch name must be the same branch name, or else it error crash. Now notice the origin here. What does it mean? If you can recall, origin is remote, so we are pushing back to origin remote at the same time creating this branch which reflects this branch. Could be dev, could be feature login, could be anything, right? So I'm just going to hide this hassle, but never mind, just bear with me. Right, this is done. Now we have another dev branch up here already. So that is how you know, work. Yeah, what is this? Okay, dev. Okay, there you go. So this is how you work in like multi-branch work collaboration. Now here's another thing, just to continue. You see, when you go back the code, you can see that your main branch is actually not changed yet, but your feature branch is. If you can see this word right here, compare and pull request, right? It's something that you click on it. It's basically merging the entire branch into your main repo. Okay, so when this part of, like, you know, merging one entire branch into your main branch is actually another commit as well. So for that commit, I'm just gonna put it as feed login admin. I'm putting a dash there. Yep. And we create pull requests. And usually in a team of work of developers, right, usually this part here requires 2 or 3 developers to approve, but since this repo is just me, I'll just approve myself, confirm merge. Now let's take a look. My main branch is updated, right? And my feature file is still here. But notice one thing. Feed about us and Brandon is not up there yet, which is the part that I'm gonna bring you all to next. Okay, now this is where I want to bring the point out just now. Now, watch carefully here. Right now, I am on git local project test, correct? Technically speaking, main and Brandon are also on project test. So what happens if I change the, you know, what happens if I change the branch right now? Watch carefully, okay? Remember just now when we do main, it was just very blank. There's no main py, there's no utilities py. If I go like git checkout feed about us Brandon, what you'll see is that your file becomes empty already. All your utilities py and main.py is gone. Not to say gone, but it will come back if you go back to your login admin branch. You see that? So this is something that confused me when I was younger. I never knew about this, but now I know this. I just want to share with everyone else. Don't freak out. You can see like, oh my god, where is my file? I worked on it like 24 hours already. Now it's changed a branch. Where is it? It's gone. It's not gone. It's just in another branch. But if you delete that branch, then you can say sayonara already. Okay, now let's say I'm working on, let's say, okay, just I'm admin. Now I switch my role. I'm Brandon now. I'm tasked with creating the about us. And let's say that me and admin has never communicated at all. Okay, I don't know what he's doing. Okay, but I know I need to do about us. So the same thing. Okay, I need to reopen this thing. Okay, the same thing. I will open my project test with Visual Studio Code. Okay, and then I will start doing my install. Okay, I will create one same thing because I'm gonna create my main.py, and then second thing I'm gonna create my utilities.py, and once again same thing, the main function, because this is basically what happens in every single file I want to run. Okay, this is if name equals to main, underscore main, then run the main function. Okay, but here's the where's different. Oh, okay, so leader told me to say I need to create the about us. Okay, fine, then I would say dev about us lah. Okay, and then this would print we are, as it is established in 1996. Okay, done. Then go to main py. I'm gonna go from utilities, import what's the function name again? About us, yeah, about us. No, there's no parenthesis here. And for the main function, I'm gonna say about us, call it, done. Okay, now let's give it a shot. Okay, does this work? We are established in 1996. Congratulations, we are working. Okay, so Brandon is very happy. So Brandon is like, okay, I have done my work, leader. Let's submit this up. So same thing, status. Okay, 3 files not added. Let's start with git main.py first. Sorry, that's not it. Git add main.py. Okay, then yeah, just git add first. Okay, then git status just to be sure. Okay, added main py, just one file, correct. Git, now it's git commit. Okay, should be feat. Create main.py file. Okay, now this status again. I need to add the utilities.py. Git add utilities.py. And yeah, just that. Git commit. Feed create utilities file to store about us. Let's say that the message is a bit different, about us function. Okay, git status. Yeah, we committed already, and now we want to git push. Remember, guys, girls, git push origin about us feed about us Brandon. Okay, we need the branch name to be exactly the same. Okay, is it correct? Feed about us Brandon. Okay, correct. Let's go. Now we git push. Now let's take a look. Okay, git. We have 3 branches right now, but here's one thing that we need to I want to show you all. So why do I create it's almost exactly the same file like utilities.py? If you take a look, right, this is the line 1 and line 2. I'm gonna open on this on a separate page. It's under too many repos. This project test. Okay, this one, let's go to admin. Okay, utilities.py. If you both notice, that these two, the first two lines are really different. So what will happen here? What if I try to merge Brandon's repo into the main branch? Let's find out. So let's compare and pull requests. Feed. About us, Brandon. I think that's the right. Let me see. Just to make sure the name is correct. Feed. Okay, no space. About us, then a dash Brandon. Okay, create pull requests. What happens? This branch has conflicts that must be resolved. You see that? Why? Because the first two lines are conflicting each other, so we need to resolve conflicts. And how to resolve conflicts? Basically, for the main utility.py, yep, this is okay. We just add this, we add this function to be at the bottom there. So that's done. Yep, just like that. This resolved already. Mark as resolved. For the main.py, right, here's the thing. So we need to, from utilities, import login and about us. And when the main function calls, we're just gonna do this login and then about us. So this one is gone. We don't need this. We don't need this. This is how you resolve the error. And once you commit, congratulations. No more conflict. Merge pull request. Confirm merge. Wait, let me see. Yeah, can. This is, sorry, this naming a bit off, but I don't know. Never mind. We'll deal with that later. We confirm merge. And yeah, let's take a look. How does our utilities.py look now? It looks very beautiful. It looks very clean, right? Okay, so one last thing just to end the video with, okay? We all know that there's two branches now. There's Brandon, there's Edmund, right? But, okay, you can see that there's files here. But let's not forget, our main branch is still empty. How? I don't want to create new files anymore. How? So, very simple. Right now, our remote branch is updated already, right? So we just pull from here, that's all. Literally, one sentence, we pull from there. And how do we do that? First of all, make sure you're in the main branch, don't go to any other branch. Just one line of code. Git pull origin main go. Push is push into the repo. Pull is pull from the repo. And let's see what we have here. Okay, let's close this first. Okay, now let's reopen this. Open with Visual Studio Code. Now, isn't that beautiful? It's clean, super clean. Utilities, but there's two functions here. Let's try calling it out. Let's say Python main.py. You're authorized, and we are established in 1996. You see, these are two functions created by two people, but it works in the same main branch right now. So that's all for this video. I can understand that there may be some confusion on the add, commit, push and pull, but maybe I'll cover that in the next video. For now, just understand that this is the main thing that I want to show you. So maybe I'll just draw it out, okay? Let's just recap, okay? Create repo on GitHub. It's just you go there, click on the green button, it will poof, it will appear. When you go to your command prompt and your git clone, you'll be pulling from the main into your local main. When you go to the CMD and your git branch the name, right, you are cloning. It's not really cloning, just pulling it out def. And when you're pushing it out, okay, your git push origin or branch name, you're pushing it back into here. Okay, maybe I draw from up here better. Okay, now I want to maybe just add one more, okay, which is that we need to add all this first. Yeah. Control C, Control V, done. Okay, the last thing, okay. If you run, whoops, copy, paste. Okay, git pull origin branch name, right? Okay, then that is doing update, and there you go. One thing I want to stress: always make sure you're working in the correct branch, or because you don't want some cases where your dev branch goes into your main branch, that is dead. You don't want your main branch to update your dev branch, that is dead too. Don't do that. So make sure you're in the right branch, make sure the branch name is correct, and there you go. You are now a legitimate GitHub user. Congratulations, and see you next time. Bye bye.